In 1999, I met my wife. I was a third-year medical student. Naomi was a master's student. It was a Thursday night around 9:30, and we were at a local establishment where students typically go. I said hi, she said hello, and the rest is history. But the next 20 years of our life together was anything but what we expected or could have predicted. Now, 2 years after we met, we got married. And on a routine medical exam, the doctors told her, "You have a kidney disease, but it's benign. It's nothing serious. It's nothing that's going to progress into anything that you need to worry about." So we decided to start a family. And around this time, I decided I was going to serve in the military. So I left my career in medicine to join the Air Force to be a pilot. When my wife was pregnant with our second child, the doctor said, "Your kidneys aren't acting as we expected. Something strange is happening. We're not really sure. We've never seen this before, but you're losing so much protein from your blood that you're at risk of developing a life-threatening blood clot. We have to recommend that you consider terminating this pregnancy." We went home, we talked about it, and Naomi decided she wasn't going to do that. She was going to go through with this pregnancy for the sake of our son. And everything went well. He was born a little sooner than we expected and had some complications, but he's doing fine today. But then 3 years after that pregnancy, the doctors came to us again, and they said, "Do you remember that kidney disease we told you about that you don't need to worry about? Nothing serious is going to happen?" Well, the disease has turned into something different. And your kidneys are rapidly failing, and you're going to need a transplant. We think you have at least 2 years, but no more than 5 before this is going to happen. So we thought, all right, let's not waste any time. Let's figure out what we need to do. So we learned everything we could about the transplant process, learned what it's like to get on dialysis. And at this time, I'm stationed at an Air Force base in Louisiana. And when we looked to the transplant program in that state, what we learned was it was going to take a year just to get through the paperwork before she could even get on the list. And who knows how long it would take to actually get a kidney. So we kept hustling. And we tried to explore other options. And we found out there was a hospital in New York City. They said, "We can get you on a wait list in about 3 months. We can probably get you a kidney as well in about the same amount of time." So now we're excited, right? We packed up the family, my wife, our 2 kids. We scheduled about a week off during spring break to take them up there. And we said, let's go meet the team. Let's see what we have to do. So we meet the team in New York City, and they tell us, "We've run your labs again, and you're a lot worse than we thought. In fact, you need a transplant right now. And we can't recommend that you go back to Louisiana." We've only packed for about 5 days, and now we're talking about staying halfway across the country indefinitely. So, again, we did the best we could. We reached out to our friends. We reached out to our parents. And we figured out a way to deal with this problem. And it was around this time, just a few days later, that the doctors came to us again. And they said, "Your husband's blood work came back. Great news. He's a match. We can schedule a surgery in about 6 weeks." Now, of course, we got to figure out, as 2 parents going into surgery, how are we going to figure out who's going to take care of the kids? But we worked all that out. And I'm happy to say my wife is doing great. Our 2 wonderful children are at home right now, also doing well. I'm a few pounds lighter. And I stayed in the Air Force another 6 years before deciding to move on. When I think about all of those twists and turns, all of those unexpected events. I can say I would never want to live that again, and I would never wish that upon any of you. But I can't help but also look at my wife and know that we're so much closer. The fact that we navigated all that uncertainty hand in hand makes me know she's the one for me. She's my partner for life. So then I think about that night in 1999. What if I knew this beautiful graduate student that I saw across the room was going to develop a life-threatening disease that was going to overshadow and dominate the first 10 years of our life together? And what if she knew this nerdy medical student was going to throw away a perfectly good career in medicine to go join the military? I don't think we'd be together today if either one of us had a sense of what was around the corner. And that's what makes me realize that uncertainty is the best gift you never wanted. I'm serious. I want all of you to think about the greatest experiences in your life, the things that you're most proud of, the stories that you tell your friends, the things that you've done. I'll bet you they all have one thing in common. They're things that you never were certain about the outcome, things you weren't sure would work out the way you wanted. And that uncertainty is why all those experiences are just that much sweeter, and why you savor those memories. Now, I understand, look, if we had a crystal ball, we could look into the future, life could be so much easier, so much less stressful. You could prepare for what was around the corner. You could practice and be ready for it. But I'm not sure that's what you would want. Because think about what life would be without uncertainty. It would be like a carnival ride or a roller coaster. Think about it. The roller coaster pulls up, you get in the car, you put the seatbelt on, the bar comes down, and you go through these twists and turns. Now you can raise your hands up, hoot and holler, or you can sit there quietly. Either way, you know in 90 seconds, that ride is coming right back to the beginning, and you're going to get out safe and sound. And whatever you do really doesn't matter. It's uncertainty that gives your decisions and your actions meaning. So when you think about all of those things that you're proud of, the things that you want to savor, it could be a college course you didn't think that you could pass. Maybe it's an athletic competition that you never thought you'd be able to qualify for, let alone compete in. Maybe it's starting your own business. Maybe it's a job you quit to completely do something different or to retire early. Or maybe it's all those years of parenting that you remember when you look at your kids and realize they've grown up to be happy, well-adjusted adults. It's uncertainty that made you work a little harder. It's uncertainty that made you run a little faster, jump a little higher. It's uncertainty, regardless if you win or lose, that showed you the capabilities that you didn't know you had. It's uncertainty, regardless of the outcome, that helps you discover the strength, the resiliency, and the love you have inside. And so when you think about your future and you look to those events, those amazing moments that have yet to happen, know that they're not going to happen by planning the future and playing the odds. They're going to happen from embracing uncertainty and defying the odds. Thank you.